Okay, hey everybody, this is Grace, and I'm on my way to the post office to mail some stuff. I seldom ever go to the post office anymore. I am serious. And I mean, it's been, I don't know how long, but gotta mail a couple of things. One of them is an application for the pharmacy that is sending my new medication. It's a specialty. It's a rare health condition, and it doesn't have to be a rare health condition. That's another story. But it is a rare health condition because not a lot of healthcare providers recognize it, and they don't test for it. All kinds of reasons, including those. They just don't. They're not educated to check for it. But anyway. And it's estimated that 80% of the people who have it are undiagnosed. I think is the way they put it. Yeah. Anyway, the application is for the pharmacy that sends it because it's not local, and this is an actual real well-known pharmacy. Just for the record, it's not some, I think I need to be in that lane. It's not some overseas, or you get it online, nothing like that. This is an actual it's just that it's a rare health condition. First time ever for me to have it, to get it. Okay, you need to be in your lane. Alright, and they were. But it's the first time that I've ever received it. Was this time they did it over the phone. They sent me a packet. I had to fill out a whole bunch of forms and get Adam to copy it, and I'm sending it back in. Okay, filled out all that, not the whole packet, but that stuff. And that was a lot of stuff to fill out. And I've never done it. I don't think I've ever filled out anything at any pharmacy. But this is different. This is specialty. So, and my doctor actually, I've got to do something. I've got to wait for him to do something. Got to go take some blood test. He was on vacation. Oh, better stop. He was on vacation, and during the while that I started taking the medication, I was supposed to actually get the medication a month before then, but his office staff kept sending it to the prescription to the wrong place. Wrong places. Yeah. It was not fun. After waiting since I was a child to finally get on medication for this rare health condition. While I was in his office, he said it would be a few days, and I said, good, because, you get a little impatient when you wait this long. He knew how long I've been waiting. I said, you get a little impatient. And then it took him over a month because his staff kept doing it wrong. Think about it. Think about it. Really. Okay, I turned it off there because the it was a woman next to me, was blaring her music, and yeah, I don't want it to get in my video. I really do think one of my videos had gotten not a copyright, but one of those copyrights that doesn't affect your thing because of that kind of thing. So at least one, because they're drive vlogs, and I don't run my radio while I'm driving, so I've been making videos on YouTube for August will be 12 years. 12 years. So I do know that. Well, I didn't know some things, though. Just recently heard about them. And I think that they may not have been that way long ago. I'll leave that out because I'm not one of those fake gurus. I'm not a guru on it at all. And I don't fake it. But anyway, what was I talking about? About going to get this paperwork. I mean, seriously, I know that there's probably very little people, very few, maybe not, people who actually like filling out forms. I'm not one of them. Never have been. They frustrate me. It's like so annoying. A pet peeve. Just a weird pet peeve. Like I say, I don't think there's anybody out there that really loves it. I mean, yeah, there are some. There will be some people that like being all organized and, you know, all that kind of stuff that might enjoy it, or just people who don't care, you know, but it's a pet peeve of mine. I think it has been since I was young, like when I was really young and having to fill out an application for a job. Maybe that's where I got it, where it originated, trying to fill out applications for a job, you know. Wow, did you hear that? Hopefully not. But it was somebody's music or something very loud. I don't know. I can't say much. No, I can't say much about that because when I was young, I used to blare my music. I had my windows rolled up though, but still, I mean, you can hear boom, 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 boom. But some people, I had never noticed this before, except for, I guess it was a couple of years ago maybe, that some people, their back windows, they actually buy one, you know, or I've never seen any before. So, but I guess they buy them special to where their back windows will open up too, on the back. Okay. I've never known back windows to open like that. I mean, there are some, but not the way that I'm talking about. And so just so they can blare their music, they put them down, and everybody share their love of their music. Now that's going a little far. If that's what's in their mind. I mean, otherwise they'd have their windows rolled up. So I am not impressed at all. Nope. Does not impress me to hear all that noise. Did you hear that? Muffler or whatever. Anyway, I'm in a grouchy mood, so hey, I've been spending time doing things online and downloading videos and stuff like that. And my old videos. That can be a lot of work, let me tell you. And I did it a long time ago, though, but I'm not doing every one of them. Some of them I'm just deleting. I don't care anymore. I have them up. And so anyway, right in the middle of this, Adam, you know, I have to get Adam to, he's older than I, to print it on his printer, which I had a printer that was so lasted for like 20 years. And when they get a certain age, I guess, you can get really inexpensive, very inexpensive. Okay, now you're all going to run out in front of me? Is that what it is? It's all your road? No, it's not. Just for the record, it's not their road. They can run it. It's not their light. So no. But some people, they just make their own rules. That's it. Like that happened right there. I got in an accident one time. I was on a road where it was 45 miles per hour, and somebody did that. But it was the first truck was a big one, and behind it was a little bitty car, and he just went with the truck. Okay, where is this place now? What the heck? They changed it. It's back there. They moved it. No, I'm going too far, in other words. They put something up, so that's what I mean by they changed it. But anyway, yeah, I got T-boned by the guy that was behind it in a little bitty car. He didn't see that he didn't have the turn light. Well, it's kind of smart to wait to see if you have that turn light. And he didn't. He just followed the big truck in front of him. It was, I'm talking like a Bubba truck kind of thing. I got T-boned, okay, by the guy turning. It wasn't his light to turn, it was mine. And mine to go straight. I was going 45, and it spun it was a truck way back when. It was a newish truck. It spun it around full 360. Is it 360 or 380? Man, I'm telling you, it's been a long time. here is the friggin' post office. Yeah, I don't come from that way ever. Okay, you know, there used to be a time when going to the post office was such a, I was just thinking this the other day, just such a thrill for me. Seriously, I loved it. That was before the internet. And even after it a little bit. But I just loved going to the post office because back then, people did things through snail mail. That's what we called it, you know, at some point. You know, through the postal service, they mailed letters. They actually wrote letters when I was young. And there was like these groups. This woman I met from a different, I was at university, she was at university, but different universities, and hers was way in another state. And we met through a really, when stuff was really rough, being developed, everything on the internet. We met that way, but we became old-fashioned pen pals, you know. I mean, you could think of it that way. And she had found something that people were passing around. They were called friendship books. And you put your, you know, your address label in it and would send it to the next person, somebody you knew, and it would continue. You get pen pals this way. It was so long ago. I don't know, 30-something years ago maybe? I don't know. But it was interesting back then. You know, so post office was my friend. You know, it was like, now you get email. But back then, yeah, you know, it was go to the post office, and, you know, I would have a post office box or use my home address, seriously. But sometimes I did it at the post, you know, I had post office box. When I was younger than that, one of my friends, we were in high school. I think one of my friends had something like that, and it was worldwide pen pals. We were in high school. I mean, I think maybe 9th grade or something. And once I had a car, I was the first one to have a car. And so I was like just had turned 16. I had just turned 16. And we got a post office box together, she and I. And we would go and check it at lunch and stuff like that. It was a big thing. I mean, think nowadays, you know, young people who want to check, and I know they don't, you know, they're checking their text, but we didn't have that back then, so there was no text. And we had to pass notes in class, and, you know, in the hallways and stuff like that, and then that was fun. But we were not obsessed with it, but yeah, maybe so, a little bit. It was just something different. Okay, I don't know why you're driving like that, but you might want to pay attention to the road. Seriously, and do not park next to me. Yeah, I want to be able to get out. I don't want your big old truck parked right next to me to where I can't get out. It's one of those big delivery trucks. And I'm not going to park right on top of my door. He was not knowing how to drive. He really did not even get in that spot. Not the one next to me, the one after that. But anyway, it was fun. I'm going to go in there and get some stuff. Okay, I made it out alive. When I got out, by the way, that guy, if you had seen how he was driving, it was a delivery truck, you know, like they deliver for stuff for the store to sell, that kind of thing. And you wouldn't believe how he was, okay, I don't know how long you're going to sit there, Bus, but you wouldn't believe how he was driving. And it was for a liquor store. Once again, my goodness. He backed the thing in, okay, and he was parked, just as I had said, you're not parking next to me, because you're not going to do that to me. And he had parked like his front tires was in the next lane. So he was taking his half out of the middle, that's what we call it. You know, he wanted two next parking spot. So he wanted 2 parking spots for that. He didn't need 2 parking spots. But he just couldn't get it in there right. Couldn't get it backed up right. But anyway, when in the store, people were being, you know, like, this is Texas. We true Texans, as far as I know, any of them, we really like our wide open spaces. We don't like for somebody to crowd us. I don't think anybody likes people to crowd them, you know. I mean, but then again, you never know. And that was just too much. You know, I went to this one aisle, and a man walked around from the other side, and I was on the right side. You know, you in the store, when you drive, and he came from the same. He was going the same direction that I was. He came up behind me. Nobody else was on the aisle, nothing. And he stopped right behind me. Okay, and at that moment, I'm a tall person, so I had to back up a little bit to look at something on the bottom shelf. I'm tall, okay? That's how it works for me. And when I did that, he come and stood right behind me. And he didn't need anything. He just stood there. You know, just rude. I mean, that happens. And some people would tell me, you know, and I am not new to this planet. Some people say, you know, he's trying to get your purse. You know, and that does happen. So I always do, what I always do is to clip my purse in, I'll go right through here for a minute. Clip my purse in that, you know, with a baby seat, the kid seat. I didn't want to go there, but I clipped mine in there. Yep, you know, it has a little belt, little buckle belt thing. I clipped it right there. So, if they're going to take my purse, they're going to take a lot with it. The whole shopping cart. Yeah, they could try to steal my purse or try to get in it even. Look at the gas, $3.69. Wow. I'll call Adam and see if he wants to get something over here. And here's more noise. Yeah, I called him, but he didn't answer. He may have, maybe in another room or outside. So I'm going to wait here and finish this video. And then go call him again, see what, like I say, he could even be gone back to bed, took a nap, something, who knows. But while I was in there, like I said, in that store, I was talking about that, and that guy got behind me, and then there was a woman coming from the other direction, and she was on the wrong side, and she kept coming toward me, you know, like she'd look, and she'd come toward, you look at the shelf and come toward. I wasn't going to move for her. No, she really got, you know, kind of close to me. I was not moving. I'm not playing that. You're not going to dominate. And, you know, no. So she turned around. She didn't say anything to me. She turned around and went the other way. Well, that's what you do. If somebody's already standing there, and I was standing there looking at different things on the shelf, okay, you don't think that they're going to move for you. You're not that entitled. I mean, she had room. She was on the wrong side, going the wrong direction. She had room on the other side to go, but no, she wanted me to move. Okay? No. I mean, this does happen here. I mean, so much this kind of thing happens that I go and, like, you're standing, you just now walk up to someplace and nobody else is on the aisle. Because this is Texas, wide open spaces. Everything's bigger. We like our wide open spaces. I can't say that enough. And nobody else is quite often on the same aisle. But it's like if somebody sees you, they have that herd mentality. They want to be right there. They got to get that same item. You're reaching. You're just now walked up and you're reaching for that item. They got to come right up there and they got to have that item. Like I say, some people would say hello. It's about them wanting to get your purse. You know. So like I said, mine is clipped in, so, and shut. So, you know, I mean, it can happen, you know, they're trained professionals. Would not call that a professional. But, so anyway, this woman did that, and as soon as she left, I walked, just like, and she turned around and went the other way. She was a young woman. I don't know. I didn't look real close at her face, but I saw that she was young. And right when I did it, it smelled like natural gas. You know, like your heater or something, your stovetop, just gas, so bad. And I'm really sensitive to scents and smells and odors. I have chemical allergies, so on and so forth. I'm very sensitive to it. And so I left. I was going to do some more shopping, walk around and stuff like that. But I left, you know, went up to the cashier and told her, as I checked out the few things I had, and I told her, well, she was an older woman, older than I, and how much older can she be? Still with her working there. But I say that because, you know, once you get over, you know, a certain age, maybe you'll say that, well, how much older can they be and they're still working, you see? It's like at another store, I asked Adam, I said, how old do you think she is? He said she's at least in her 70s. So anyway, no, I have no problem with it. I'm in my 60s, so anyway, but the whole thing is, how much older can they be? Anyway, but I told her, and she told the manager who was in the aisle, one aisle over, and he didn't even say, okay, I'm going to go check it. And she said, hey, she says she smells gas on that aisle. He didn't even bother to say, okay, I'll go check it. Nothing. Kind of rude, you know. He was rude to her. And he could say, at least say thank you. Know, it wasn't about me. It was about her. She's the one who told him. He could have said, okay, thanks. I'll go check it. You know, something. Acknowledge that she had spoken. Really. That's how I see things. Acknowledge people. I know I'm telling you, but I am going to say this. I'm on this medication, and one of the things that it said that it can cause is irritability. I'm a cheerful person. I laugh a lot. You know, and so yeah. Okay, tried calling Adam again, and he doesn't answer. So, anyway, I kind of like where I'm sitting. It's in the shade, away from the house. Yeah. Instead of doing my videos at the house. Oh, anyway. So that was the story, you know, I told him and left. But, that worries me. I went to get my hair cut. Adam went with me the second time. And, it was 3 times we tried to go get my hair cut. Okay, because he went with me. He's older than I, you know. And, there's this one place, we had been going to there for many years. And, I really needed to get my hair cut, but because I had been ill, hadn't gone, and it felt like it took too much energy out of me last year to do anything, to do much of anything. And I would try, but it just, day after day would go by, and I'm like, I just don't feel like it. It was a combination of things, including some medication I was on. I'm still on, but they had finally lowered it. I don't know if it's last year or when. It took a while for me to bounce back, man. And I really don't remember when they took me off of it. But anyway, it felt like a lot of energy for me to do stuff. So finally, when I started, you know, wanting to go, you know, different things happened. But the second time that I went to, was the big one. It's related. Is he and I just opened up the door to the place we had been going to for decades, really, and opened the door, and the smell hit me, and it hit him too. He usually doesn't smell odors, like, you know, pretty much at all. And he said, I don't smell it. But I'm used to that. I'm used to people saying, I don't smell it, until a little bit later, then they smell it and say, oh, I see what you mean. You know? But it was awful. I mean, it didn't even really smell like natural gas. It smelled like a mixture of, and he said that he thinks it's sewage. I said, sewage? You know, he said, like a sewage backup. You know, I grew up where there were open sewage. We had ditches in front of our houses. And I'm not talking big old canal style ditches. I'm talking little ditches. When I was growing up, yes indeed, they had ditches. Yeah, raw sewage in them. And the place freaking, it was near the Gulf, and it would flood, you know, with hurricanes and such. Yeah, very bad. And by the time I was in high school, they had stopped allowing those. They had fixed them all. And so that was good. But anyway, but that's what it did kind of smell like that. You know, raw sewage. So where were they getting the raw sewage? I don't know. Was there something? I don't know how that works. We don't have raw sewage here. Well, I don't even know if any place has it anymore in the United States. But anyway, I think that's pretty much enough. This is annoying me that he's not answering the phone, because I'm all the way over here. I could get us something to eat for lunch and go home. Now, I go home and he finally answers it and says, well, go get it some. You see what I'm saying? I'm not going to be happy. So I can make my own executive decision and get us something to eat, but I don't know which one. I don't, you know, I'm not a fan of chicken, and these have 3 chicken places right here. Seriously, 3 chicken places right here. So I don't know. And my stomach's growling. That's answering one thing. Yes, I need to stop and get something, and I just don't know which one. There's one chicken place down there. I like the taste of it, but they don't seem to cook it enough. Really, they don't seem to cook it long enough. There's a little pink in the middle of it, inside of it. No, that's not happening with me. But overall, the batter, I guess you'd say, tastes better. You know, and there's one I really don't care for. 2 of them I really don't care for. The other 2. So, and there's a hamburger place, but I'm not in the mood for a hamburger. Okay, well, he didn't answer again. So, well, I'm going to go get like I was saying, I'm just going to go get, I don't know, I'm going to go see what else is down there. And this part doesn't make sense to me. Like, if he's out and he's driving around, you know, this goes back for, you know, when we were younger and had cars that might, you know, break down or something like that. You know, from when we were young. We both have okay cars right now. We have SUVs. So we don't really worry about it. But at the same time, like, still, if he goes somewhere, I make sure I have my phone where I can hear it. I mean, I don't really have to, because where I sit, it's in the next room, always. It's going to be around somewhere. And, just to be thought, you know, think that something could happen that, you know, he might call me. Like when he goes to the grocery store, sometimes he goes to get something for himself. He said, hey, you want me to pick up something here? So I'm there and the phone's near me and I can answer. But him, no, not so much. And he'll do things like he won't have his phone with him when he goes somewhere sometimes. He's slowly getting used to having his cell phone with him when he goes. He doesn't like it. He doesn't want to. You know, but this is a different age. You don't have pay phones, and not too many people are going to want you anybody touching their cell phone. You know, that's a good way to get get sick. But he just doesn't tend to think of about stuff like that. If I'm gone, yeah, have your cell phone near you. He is probably standing outside with, you know, talking to some of his friends or something. You know, some neighborhood guy, and really. Okay, which one is this? I want to go into this one. Oh, it's so freaking busy. My goodness, no. Wow. That is busy. Oh well. I can call them and order, and oh, they're already there. They're just waiting on the person to look at them, I guess, to get their stuff. I don't know what all this stuff on the back means. Man, hamburgers are expensive these days, huh? Everything is. I know people are going to say everything is. You know, if anybody watches my videos at all, I'm restructuring my videos, my channels, because they were dead channels. And I got several channels. I've been doing this for 11 and a half years, and I've been doing series. So I have different channels for different spin-offs, and yeah, and they're dead. They're not shadow banned, they're dead channels. So and I tried what they said to try, you know, say to do. All these gurus, like I say, I'm not a guru. I don't pretend to be either. You know, about what you do to fix your channel. And of course, you know, if it doesn't work, they say, hey, you're doing it, it's your fault. You know, that's an easy thing. Hey, if it doesn't work, what I'm selling you doesn't work, well, it's your fault. You somehow broke it. So, anyway, that's just my opinion. That's all. That's just my opinion. I'm a social and behavioral scientist. It's just my opinion. Anyway, I think I'm going to wrap this one up.